Oh yes, you've guessed. We're talking about Beverly Hills 90210 today on our second episode of Television Canada podcast. Welcome to Television Canada, the podcast take 2. And I'll explain the take 2 because on the first one that I did 15 minutes ago, I muted the microphone. So I recorded silence for 15 minutes. So if you're just joining in, you are lucky because I am now online and actually talking to you people. So we're going to discuss about the BH 90210, the reality / drama / comedy that came out on August 7th. First off, if you want to join in and ask questions, you can go to Spreaker.com, which is Speaker with an R, Spreaker.com, and find Television Canada. You can also ask your questions on Twitter, which is at _TV Canada. On Instagram, we are at Television Canada. And you can visit our website, Television Canada, and click at the top, join the Facebook group. If you can also text your questions to 514-700-6290, but you're responsible for any text or data charges. Come on. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. So, on August 7th, 2019, fans of Beverly Hills 90210 were blessed with a show within a show, which is the best description you can find on this show right now. The first time that the entire cast were together, with the exception of the late Luke Perry, who played Dylan McKay on the show. They play an enhanced and exaggerated version of themselves, attempting to get a reboot done, but getting there makes it for a more fun and delicious soap. So the show is amazing. I keep saying it. I write it on my blog on televisioncanada.ca. If you haven't read, go and read our BH 90210 Season 2 wish list and comment if you agree or not on the topics that I've put in. The show stars Gabrielle Carteris, Shannon Doherty, Jenny Garth, Brian Austin Green, Jason Priestley, Tori Spelling, and Ian Ziering, all together for the first time in I do not know how many decades together on screen. They play an exaggerated version of themselves. And it's so delicious. It's so funny. They don't shy away from any rumors that were going on in the 90s. As you guys know, there was no Twitter, there was no Facebook, or barely any. So the cast couldn't really react to the bad press that they would get. I think in one episode, Shannon Doherty even says there was a group or a chat room or something that was dedicated to hating her. So it's a kind of, getting these stories out, like the feud between Shannon and Tori, which so far they have not mentioned anything. They seem to be having fun. They seem to have grown. I think they've mentioned a few times that it's been 30 years. They were babies. Now they can do things differently, and obviously this overjoys a whole lot of people that watched the original show. Beverly Hills 90210 was on the air for 10 years and basically covered a lot of topics during those 10 years. One of the topics that I feel they didn't really go is the LGBT storyline, either with a gay or bi character, which in BH 90210 they have addressed with the help of Gabrielle Carteris, where we see her navigating, exploring her sexuality. She's married on the show, and the husband might not be as open to her exploring her sexuality, but there's something that triggered her when she kissed that woman on the premiere episode. So basically, I'm so happy about that because these are stories that need to come out. No pun intended, and basically having the cast and the show Beverly Hills 90210 addressing it makes it even better. I'd like to thank Janus, JANUSZ, on Twitter, for announcing that the live podcast is on. Thank you very much. I've noticed also that you've retweeted quite a few of my stuff, so I really appreciate it. I'm just going over the websites and see if I have any notifications. Again, like I said, you can join in and ask your questions. You can send us a text at 514-700-6290. You can also tweet at _TV Canada. Join us on Spreaker.com. I can definitely speak with you guys from there. So come on, let's go. Let's have a conversation. Next Wednesday. Wow, I can't speak today. Next Wednesday is the finale of BH 90210. Now, do you want it to be a season finale or do you want it to be a series finale? I think most people want it to be a season finale. So we have work to do. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do from now on, from right now, even if you're retweeting my podcast, even if it's not even related to 90210, add the hashtag RenewBH90210 to all your posts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and any other platforms that I can't think of. I think it's Christine Ellis, which is another surprise that fans have. If fans remember, she played Emily Valentine in the original show, which was Brandon's Walsh girlfriend. She comes back on the show. She plays, obviously, an exaggerated version of herself, and she's now a Fox executive that's in charge of getting the reboot done. And there's some friction with the cast, especially with Tori Spelling that wants to be a producer, but she's kind of a little bit scared of firing people and stuff like that. So it's juicy fun, very fun. And I think she's the one, Christine, that mentioned on Instagram, if I remember correctly, that yes, the ratings does count, but Fox also looks at the media coverage, the social media. So if we tell them we want the show, and there's enough people saying it, then we're most probably going to get a second season. Now, I only have one thing to say to Fox. Why 6 episodes? Where did the number 6 come from? Why not 10? It's not enough. I can't believe the season finale is next week. I rewatched the episodes constantly because I went and got them on iTunes. I got the season pass. If you have a few bucks to spare, go and get the season pass. It's worth it. You can watch it wherever you want, and as many times as you want. And, I've watched every episode about 3 or 4 times. I'm obsessed, I know. But I do, and I support it. Like I was saying earlier, the LGBTQ, whatever other letters they've added on it, community story that we're having now, which which includes Christine Ellis and Gabrielle Carteris, is one of my favorite things on the show. They're hot. They're really exploring how one opens up and, all the mishaps, the miscommunications, and then actually having genuine feelings for themselves, among themselves. So basically, it's a fun thing to watch. And us that remember Andrea from way back on the show that was portrayed by Gabrielle, it's a different character. And I like it. I really do. So what's your guys' impressions on that story and on all the other stories, like Brian Austin Green having a illegitimate son? And are they purposely not telling us who the mother is? Because the only thing we know so far is that it's a extra. But I think there's more to that story than, meets the eye. So let's change subject for a while. On our last podcast, we attempted to get a season 6 of Lucifer. If fans remember, Fox canceled Lucifer at a very cliffhanger episode, which angered a lot of fans, and Netflix picked it up and decided to end it at season 5. So people have been rallying, and on that day, I don't remember the date, it was in June, at the end of June, there was a tweet, we want Lucifer season 6 I'm going to call it an extravaganza because it was crazy that day. So I dedicated my first podcast to that. And well, we didn't get a season 6, but we didn't come empty-handed. Netflix added 6 more episodes to season 5, and I do believe that it had to do with the campaign. So good job, good going, and we can do the same thing with hashtag RenewBH90210. So let's get that going. There's about 4 minutes left, so come on, people, send me a text message, send me a message directly on my phone at 514-700-6290. I haven't received any texts yet, so come on. And basically, be on the lookout on our website, Television Canada, because we're going to try to plan these episodes in advance to have you guys be able to come and ask the questions that you all want to ask. There's about 4 minutes left in the podcast, so you still have time to squeeze in your questions on Twitter, on Instagram, on my text. Like I said earlier, I'm repeating myself on Instagram, which I haven't announced I was doing anything, so that's great. Don't be shy. Send us the information. On another note, the reason why there's about only 3 minutes left is because that's all that I can kind of afford if you want right now. So if you guys want to you want a longer podcast or more frequent ones, if you go on our televisioncanada.ca website, at the top right, you'll see a pay now. You'll see Television Canada podcast with a little space where you can write. If you donate $2 to us, so that's going to go to cover the costs of the website and the podcast. You could leave there your website, your Twitter handle, your Instagram handle, and we'll do a shout out on the next episodes. So I think it's a fair trade. And basically, like I said, all proceeds go to the website and to the podcast. I would love to do a much longer podcast than 15 minutes. Again, let's change the subject. Have you guys seen the trailer for Star Trek Picard? OMG. I am so happy. Lividly happy. Can we say livid and have something positive after that? Okay, just super happy that I have 2 of my favorite all-time characters on the same show, which is Sir Patrick Stewart as Captain Jean-Luc Picard and Jerry Ryan as 7 of 9. You should have seen me scream when I saw the trailer when it was released. I was in shock. I was happy. There's Data, played by Brent Spiner, and also confirmed Marina Sirtis and Jonathan Frakes are reprising the roles of Deanna Troi and Riker, which just, makes it more and more amazing. We'll talk more about Star Trek Picard on your next podcast. You can go and read our article about Star Trek Picard on televisioncanada.ca right now. Also, there's the Season 2 wish list that I put there. So if any of you have any comments to add to that or any other suggestions, you can go and have a conversation directly on the website. And basically, maybe I'll read some of them on our next podcast. There's about a minute left, so what I'd like to do is thank the cast and crew of BH90210 for bringing us weekly this superb show. I have to say it again, I see it, well, I don't know if I said it in this version or the version where I recorded nothing, that I see in every episode that every single one of you have upped your game. You are an incredible cast. Thank you, Jenny Garth and Tori Spelling, for creating this show and for, sending it to us. So I'm signing out and we'll talk again. So again, spread the word, send it on all Instagrams and hashtag RenewBH90210. Good night all.